Divine Spirit and gracious Creator, we're all here to open ourselves up unconditionally to your divine assistance and continued direction. As well as receiving your healing and guidance, we are fully open and ready to receive and notice signs and blessings. We are truly grateful and thank you. Amen. Please settle your minds and focus on your crown chakra. And when you are ready, open it for Spirit to supply you with its source of energy. As it enters your crown chakra, allow it to rebalance all your chakras, starting with the crown chakra, moving on to the brow chakra, down to the throat chakra, then on to the heart chakra, working its way down to the solar plexus chakra, further down to the sacral chakra, and then down to the root chakra. Allow the spirit energy source to visit all your minor chakras to maximize our potential in this circle tonight. Let the energy settle in your body. And when you're ready, move your focus back to your heart chakra and start linking with all other members of this circle unconditionally. Set your intentions on the task we agreed, please, to maximize our ability to make the links to spirit that we need to achieve. We've come together on the earth plane with the purpose of receiving answers to our questions from our spirit guides and advisors that are happy to link with us. I would like to start by introducing members of our circle. My name is Neil, and with me today is Adrian and Ashley. I would like to welcome all members of the Spirit Circle and thank you for believing in us. As we try to lift our energy levels sufficiently to enable you to bridge and make contact through us, we are focusing on offering you the opportunity to link directly through us. Please link directly through your choice of medium. And if you are happy to link through another medium at the same time as another soul from Spirit does so, please do. Where possible, we'd respectfully appreciate confirmation that we have achieved a successful link through either a sense of doing so or even more grateful to hear the spoken word itself. As we try to lift our energy levels in our own circle and with the help of our own guides and others in spirit, we look forward to making the connection to the spirit circle. When we have achieved that, could you confirm when you are ready for Ashley to put questions to you, please?
Hello there, welcome to our circle. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. There are low numbers tonight.
Yeah, just the three of us, well, four of you.
No, there are loads this side.
Okay. What would you like to be known as or referred to this evening?
My name is Everard.
Everard. My name is Ashley, and we have Neil, and obviously you're with Adrian at the moment.
Thank you.
Is this the first time joining us this evening?
Yes, this is the first time I've joined you this evening. I do sit and join in the weeks previous.
Okay, nice. So you got to see what it's all about then, so you know what you're in store for. Okay. All right. When was you last here on the Earth plane, everybody, if you don't mind me asking?
The last century of yours is when my last life. I have not been past that long.
Okay. What would you say your biggest lesson from your past life was?
There was lots. Patience was a big one for me. And to learn to love unconditionally.
Yeah, it's nice.
There was many, but those two for me personally was the biggest ones.
Yeah. Mm. How can we carry or remember our memories in the next life? So in two questions really. Like one, when we go back to spirit, how do we remember our past lives? And then the other part of the question is us here on the earth plane, how can we tap into remembering our previous lives?
So the first part of the answer to your first part of the question is when you go back, you do your review on the life you've just had. And at this point, part of your memories come back, but initially you have to review that last life. Once you've gone through that, then you will get the memories of your past lives. Will come fully back to you.
How long is that process? Because there is no time in spirit, isn't there? So
it's very difficult because there's time on the earth and everything is in time. But while in spirit, there is no clock. And because it's not like when you're on earth and you have day and night. So you don't see it passing. So you do rest, you'll do, I suppose you would say you'd have a day. That day could be many earth days or months in a day. You just get on and do things. But it depends on the life you've had, whether it was short or long, whether you managed to tick off some of your lessons that you'd given yourself. The experiences as well. Sometimes will just take a short time, but other times it can take longer. But you don't just sit continuously, I suppose, for it. It will come on and off, but it all depends on the life.
Yeah, and I guess some individuals have had more previous lives than others as well, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes you can get most of it, say, off your chest or out quite quickly, but then there might be certain situations where you have to just go back to with your main guide and your elders and your own, the guides above you as well, just over certain situations or lessons that you might need to handle differently. Then you can carry on, but your memories will all come back to you quite quickly after that. But you need to concentrate initially once you come back to review what's gone on. So it just gets in the way of all the other lives that will come back to you.
Okay. That makes sense. What about then the second part to the question?
So the second part. So obviously, if you come back into a life you have another life, so you come back down to earth.
Yeah. So
Um,
like for us as individuals, like how do we tap into, like how do we remember like memories from previous lives?
so memories, you can't really tap into it yourself
Yeah.
initially. You would have to have some sort of past life regression, some hypnosis or something to unlock. This would never necessarily be fully unlocked, but it will give you an insight. But don't forget, you're here in this life to live this life.
Yeah.
So as much as it's very interesting to understand where you've been before or how many times you've been, it can be a hindrance sometimes.
What about people who kind of like have like flashbacks of particular memories, but or
Yeah,
places?
sometimes you can have a hard life, or you might feel you're in the wrong body, or the wrong time, the wrong place even. And this is where getting regressed can help you understand something that maybe happened.
Did you think that some humans kind of like have stuff come into their mind, let's just say, and it kind of may be linked to their past life, but they're limited in terms of the capacity to understand?
Yes, your guides and your higher self will use the past experiences in every life for you. It's when you tap in, or sometimes might just sit there, be quiet, and you'll suddenly get an idea. You think, oh, go and do that. It's where the experience and
So would people ever kind of get like visualizations of like something that happened in a past life?
yes,
stuff?
sometimes, yes, in dreams mostly.
Yeah. Well, I guess
Dreams is where you can tap into the
about
less busy
children. Do you think they're more kind of prone to kind of memorizing things?
they can. It's very tempting to want younger children to remember where they've just been, especially when you are spiritual and you have children or see children in the family. But they have the most experience because they've just started their life. But then you need them to live their lives without having to want to know where they've already been.
Mm.
But yes, you saw the child talking in the room with nobody there, and you think, oh, that's unusual. If there's a problem there, but there isn't.
Mm.
They could be talking to their guide.
Yeah.
They could be just talking to, or talking. They can still see from past life because they're coming down. So they have still a strong connection.
Mm. Thank you. Okay. I don't know if you'll be able to answer this question. We've had something similar in the past, but it's not really been answered. So, like, what is in the black hole?
The black hole, in my understanding, there's more than one. They can be anywhere. They can open and close at different times. I would call them like a porthole, a tunnel to somewhere else.
What do you mean, like a kind of time machine?
Yes, it could be at a different point in time in space.
Have you used them?
No, as spirits, you would not need to use them.
Who uses them?
This would be used by probably more advanced civilizations, I will say to that one.
I mean, like, we're talking kind of like time machines and portals, so they could potentially travel to different places within the universe and here on the Earth plane, but also time frames, or not?
Yes, but there are very strict laws that are kept in place.
Can you give me one as an example?
The main one is you must not interfere in what's happening. You must observe. There are the elders. So as you see the elders for the humans, but don't forget, you are not alone. There
So
are
when
many
you're doing,
planets.
it's just coming to my mind. When you're doing a life review, is a black hole sometimes used
No,
to like bring a person back? No.
no.
Hmm.
It is more, as you see in your TV films and programs, as such, it would be used to travel from one point to another. But in spirit, because you are a non-physical life form, you do not need to do that.
So nobody doesn't live there. It's more like, like you say, as a portal,
Yeah, it's like
and there's
one
more
of the
than
tunnels.
one, and it can kind of change where it is and where it goes.
Like your channel tunnel. You go in one end, you come out somewhere else.
But that's all in the same place.
On the planet it is, yes.
Who created the black holes?
This is something that I think it is something that rather than being created for a purpose, is something that has naturally just evolved within the universe with how it works, with all the energies and the planets and the movement and alignment.
How many would you say there are?
I wouldn't be able to put a number on it.
A lot.
Yes, there would be a lot. But some of them would not necessarily open and close in the same place. It might open in one place for a specific time, but then never go and open in that same place again.
And there's not like one specific black hole. They're kind of equally important.
There are some that stay in the same place, but they would never be open forever.
And who deems who can access them? The elders, or?
They are there like in space. It should be something that in future generations, when the technology allows, would be found.
Do you have like naughty spirits who like just try and jump through because they want to go somewhere?
They would not need to. These would be more your other civilizations.
Mm. Why do you say that? Because you think like in spirit you're not naughty.
Everybody can have a bit of, you could say naughty, but it's not that way.
Mm.
You can go and do what you like as such, but you have the knowledge to know what to do, when to do it, when to leave things alone, as you do on Earth.
So if spirit is going to access like a black hole, let's say, how does it work in terms of determining where they want to go? Is that all like kind of like mindset thinking of somewhere where they want to go and a time frame?
Because you're all linked as one,
Mm,
the knowledge is there.
mm.
You only have to ask or think or feel from others around you.
But then I
So
guess you need to be
if
sure.
you did want to know a specific, say, black hole, porthole, where it goes or when it goes, you just ask.
Ask who?
Ask one of your group members, your friends, acquaintances, guides, elders.
They have like guards on the black holes.
No, there are no guides, guards, I should say.
Okay.
But there are things in place that will, if you're not meant to go there, things would
Yeah.
happen. So you couldn't go there.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you interested in space, Ashley?
I am interested a little bit. Somebody else asked me those questions, so I brought them forward. They're not part of our circle, but yeah, I thought I'd ask them. But yeah, I like space in terms of learning about astrology and how the planets, when they move, how they affect our moods and stuff here on the Earth plane.
There's lots to learn.
Oh, there's loads, isn't there? Do you know? So we're going to talk about Neil's wife, Stella. Is Neil's wife, Stella, still in spirit, working alongside his guardian angel and his other spirit team development guides and teachers, or has she moved on to other things?
Yes, she is still with his team and working with him.
Oh, that's nice.
But she has also moved on to another part of her journey as well. So we can, as guides, guide you, but also still be on our own path journey as well. But it only takes that thought of you thinking of us or doing things that would link us straight back to you to help.
Yeah.
We can be in two places at once would be the easiest way to explain that.
Do they like just like our past loved ones ever come back and then watch like a TV program with us?
Yes, they can do if they wish. Yes, they can, to be close to you. But once you leave and you remember your other lives, it also gives you the other interests that you once had. So sometimes, you could just pop back to somebody somewhere that you probably never came or went to see. So say, for instance, you wanted to go to Hawaii, say, for instance, but you never managed to get there in your life. As a spirit, you can come back and visit.
Take a vacation.
Yes, you can. Yes. You can see it. You can live it.
If you was in Hawaii, would you go back to the current time frame, or could you go back to like a previous time frame?
You could go back to a previous time frame, but it is always best to stay with the current time frame to move forward.
Mm.
There are still many beautiful places to see
Mm.
without going back to the beginning.
Could you ever go back, like use like a black hole or portal to go back to like the beginning of day when the world had just begun? To kind of like watch to see what happens, to see like the final story.
Yes, I would love to. But you can, the wealth of knowledge that you have access to, you do not need to go back because you can see the things. Because as a soul, some souls you might class as a new soul, but these souls could still be millennia in age. So you would have seen a lot of things, even if you've not lived a life on a certain planet at the time.
Mm.
And it always intrigued you. But you might have been there at a certain point in time, observing before you took a life.
Is there an average of lives that we all lead, or not? Just completely individual.
It's completely on an individual basis.
Yeah.
Some people might just want to, well, say people, some souls, I should say.
Who decides? Sorry.
So who would decide? Well, you yourself would decide, but it also depends on your development and how far you want to develop. Whether you want to live one life or many lives, or
Who decides who's going to have children on the earth plane?
do you mean when you take the life as a soul, or obviously as a human, that is your free will if you want children or not?
Because some people can't know.
If you was to choose the life that had, where you had no children, then that would be, you would know that before where you was going.
But I don't agree. I don't know. I don't know on that one.
Are you unsure of that one?
Just in terms of like the whole choice thing, you know, I know like it just gets brought up several times about, you know, before we come back, we kind of like get the opportunity to kind of choose.
It is difficult to see whilst you're in that life, especially if
Yeah.
you're having a tough time.
Yeah.
You would say, who on earth would want to come back?
Yeah, why'd you pick this?
Why did you pick this? Why would you live here?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's human life is
Hmm. Who do you-
already
Yeah.
is there. It's that human life is going to be, it's the soul that joins with that life. So you run alongside each other.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to understand whilst you're, as you are now, Ash.
Yeah.
Because you'll have your perspective is so different. You know, you have your positives and your negatives, and like, you know, we all, when we're in that life, will say, "Why me?" or "God, dear, this is tough.
Oh, what
how am
am
I going to move on?"
See where you are. Do you have like animals in spirit that are around you, or are they in like separate areas and stuff?
You can join with the spirit, the of the animals as such.
Are they on like different
Once
planes?
you come, yes, you could say a different plane, but yes, they tend to keep themselves together It's to do with you can link with the spirit. Say you had a dog or a cat or a budgie or a parrot, or
Yeah.
you know, you can link and as you would in your life, you know, but they would tend to keep themselves to themselves. They wouldn't constantly be there with you. The same with your mothers and fathers in your earth lives.
I was just more wondering, like, obviously here on the earth plane, we've got like us as humans, then we have like different animals and stuff like wildlife and that around us, and obviously spirit are everywhere. So I just wondered, like, in spirit, is it just kind of like spirit, human souls, or like do you have like animal souls around you, or is that like just it's not really separate?
It's very difficult. It's yes, you are
Like
all
what happens with
around,
the
but they
dinosaur
just
souls and stuff?
yes, they all evolve and move on and upward. So as a soul that might have started as a basic life form would then take maybe its next journey to the next level and move onwards. But that same soul spirit wouldn't then necessarily be a human. They don't mix quite like that.
Okay. But then us as humans, we can kind of come back as different animals, though, can't we? But it doesn't not happen that often.
It can, but
would that be like punishment,
better,
like you're coming back as a rat because she was horrible?
No. You tend to go somewhere else to be that rather than back to the earth.
Okay.
In my understanding of things, if something happens like that, I don't know about that.
Do you know if my guide recently changed? Because I was told that my guide would be changing, and I saw I felt like I saw a new guide this week when I was last week when I was doing some healing, but I don't know if it was the other.
You have had a new guide come in to assist you with the healing and to build your confidence.
Good, thank you.
Your main guide will always be with you.
Yeah.
Your 3 main guides are always there. You have had another guide come in, which you'd probably know, you'd call them a helper, that they come in and out.
Is it like a native, like, are you able to answer me if it's like a native American man?
Yes, you have. You also have you would like to see them as a Amazonian warrior.
Yeah. Woman?
Yes.
Sure.
No.
Okay. Well, pushing my luck here, and I think
Very beautiful. Strength you will feel when she comes in with you.
Great, thank you.
But your Native American man that you say, he has come in to help with the healing for you.
Yeah. I thought that, I generally did think that, and then all of a sudden when I was at yoga the other week, I heard like the pan flute, and then I've been addicted to it since, and I was like, it must be a link with the spirit, because I didn't like this before. How do we know if all our prayers are received in spirit? Like, how do we get confirmation that our prayers have been received?
this can be received differently for different people depending on how in tune you are. But all prayers that are given out are heard. But it is, if you ask, whatever you ask, cannot always be dealt with straight away, and sometimes it's not part of already at that time in your journey. Sometimes when we give out a prayer, it's also a bit like a cry for help in some cases. Those will be prioritized over the others.
Yeah.
But all prayers are heard and acted upon accordingly.
Okay. I've got another one for you. So this one's what I'm struggling to kind of work with, really. You know, in terms of like the powers of manifestation, so you know that it can be used for positive or negative in a sense, you know, like what we think and feel is like energy, and kind of we can bring on certain things ourselves. So when we have like a negative thought about something, there's so many different ways and different techniques that people say to do, you know, have the thought and then like imagine it going into a chute, clear it out in your mind, send it off with love and stuff, you know, or breathe into a certain place in your body and move it on. But if it keeps coming back, like, is there any secret, like, just like get rid of it for good? Like,
There are so many different ways that have been put out. The only way that I would say to do is just to try to lose the negative thoughts one by one.
oh.
And the more positive you are, the happier you will become, which will give you confidence, and you basically manifest your own what you need at the time. But if you think more negatively, you won't act positively. Do you see what I mean? If you're thinking,
No, I see what
you can't
mean.
act positively, so you act negatively.
But even if you're acting positively, but there's just one thing that keeps coming into your mind that keeps like messing things up. Like, I don't know, I was just more thinking about like what was the most effective way of eradicating thought.
Is this a certain situation?
No, just
Or an emotion that comes back to you?
like a combination. Oh, I don't know. I was just thinking, what is the most effective way to kind of move on something?
If it's something that you can do, that doesn't, because while you're on your earth life, you have constraints, obviously. The life you're living, whether it may be monetary or whether you have, I can't think of the word, obligations to family or friends. So you can't move away from certain situations, or you can't afford to maybe do something. So to try and look at it differently or ask for advice.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
That's what I would recommend is small negative thoughts, to try to just say to yourself, okay, that's negative. I forget that, or
like counteract with a positive thought.
Yeah.
until it eventually pisses off. Sorry.
Put it in the bin or something. Just imagine it going somewhere other than to
Yeah,
where it initially would have gone to.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. It makes sense. Thank you. Is there any advice or anything that Neil needs to know, or anything that he's doing well with lately that we can feed back to Neil?
Neil is doing very well, but he does need to learn just to take it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I know he enjoys and puts lots of effort into his hobbies and working with us. But sometimes just to sit, chill, occasionally with his cup of coffee, just relax a bit.
Yeah.
But he's doing very well.
He's like an earth angel, isn't he?
He is. He does wonders. He does more than he realizes. He also knows that he has another one of us with him this evening, but he's not sure whether to let them speak.
Do you still have like family here on the earth plane that you visit occasionally?
In my last life, I had no children.
Okay.
But I do come back to see my nieces and nephews.
That's nice. So, what motivated you to come through this evening? Like, was you asked? Did you opt?
I observed, and ethos asks us all whether we would like to come through. But sometimes for our journeys, we have to experience, if we've not done it before, to come through and link in this way.
Yeah.
Because we can link on when you give your message and readings, we can link that way, but it's not the same as
No, it's not.
coming in this way. And working through Adrian is different as well to working with somebody who may be going to full trance.
Yeah.
So this is like the next step further along from linking for advice.
Yeah.
The mediums, yes. So this lets us take over a little bit more.
Yeah, rather than having the person kind of try to puzzle out what you're saying and hope for the best.
Yes. There are so many of us that watch this group. As much as we are all linked to the group, there are many that are not.
Mm.
This is a oversubscribed, shall we say.
YouTube.
Yes, there are more of us. It's imagine yourselves, maybe I shouldn't say this, but
Watching TV.
it's no bad thing. It's like you're going to an amphitheatre or an open theatre and you've got the play in the middle.
Yeah.
And all the levels and circles around you.
So cool.
your group is the play, and we all sit around with your fire.
So they get to shout things at you like, oh, can you say this?
Yes. Sometimes we link together to come through.
Okay.
So like if you connect with your guides in a daytime, you will probably get one voice, but it is sometimes several there at the same time, passing the advice across.
Interesting.
Like Adrian in the morning will talk to his guides, but only hears one voice or gets the knowing, but it will be several or more than one talking at the same time.
Okay.
We blend together.
Is there anything at the moment that Adrian needs to kind of like know or like advice for him at the moment?
We give him the same every day.
Yeah.
He asks for his guidance in the morning,
That's
and we
good.
give it to release the self-doubt
Yeah. He's getting there though, isn't he?
and to believe as well.
Yeah.
But it is conditioning that has brought him to this.
Yeah.
When he was a child, he was not like this. He was free. Just go for it.
Then life just changed him.
So we're trying to give him back at once what he was.
Yeah. Good. Physically, there are two versions of the human vessel, male and female, but an individual mindset determines the opposite or a neutral version. What is this actually about?
This is very difficult to explain.
Yeah,
I don't actually understand it
neither do I. Must be one of Neil's questions. Sorry, let's move
myself.
on.
I see how since my passing, how the world has changed in the short time that I've been back over. And I find it, as a human perspective, very confusing. But it is something that I don't know why it happens, but my understanding or belief is changing as the civilization is changing. But there are still lots of people thinking this is something that they are, because they are trying to follow on the truth of those that are in that situation. Do you understand? That there are those that are in the wrong body, but others are trying to join with them. But they are not in the same position. I want to say an old saying was jumping on the bandwagon.
Mm.
To choose my words carefully there. But this will settle with time. But I do not know why this happens.
Mm.
I don't know whether this is because more older souls are returning and maybe they lived more lives as a male and are returning to try life as a female,
Mm.
and vice versa. I don't know where this is the confusion, maybe.
Yeah.
But I can't actually answer that. I don't know this one.
That's all right. Thank you. We don't know it all. None of us do we? So
In my last life, I was just a simple pharmacist.
there's nothing simple about a pharmacist.
Can I just come in on that, please?
Yes.
As regard, I like the way you've given the answer in your interpretation. Yes, some of these attitudes, I call them, although not physical, I agree with you. There are going to be an element that are in the wrong body, but I actually think there are extreme situations where others do join, and it actually overcomplicates the whole scenario in life.
Yes, this is what I meant when I said
so I'm on your
wrongly
wavelength.
about
Yeah,
jumping on.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah,
It's like a new craze, a new thing, and it's not helping those that are deeply going through the.
yeah, I agree. I find that the other people are just stirring it up and manipulating the interpretation, and they're actually causing heartache to the individuals that are trying to deal with their thoughts in their own way.
Yes.
Whereas I just feel it would be better if we all remain tolerant and just be ourselves.
Yes. I think if everybody just accepted everybody for who they are,
Yeah,
but believe in your own self.
yeah.
And not try to, if you don't understand, then you don't understand. You can try to understand.
But you can still be tolerant, can't you, without
Yes.
understanding?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. I have to be careful because I don't agree with labels. I don't agree with people putting labels on themselves at all. I actually think it's become unproductive now.
Yes,
It
I think people
it
should.
was necessary at some time, but I think it causes more problems than it's worse now.
That's awful. Yeah.
I think it should be, you are who you are.
Yeah.
And you should be who you are. And other people should just let that be.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you are all individuals.
Yeah, which is wonderful. Okay, thank you.
Edward, do you have any questions for us? I know obviously we can question you a lot, but is there any questions that you have for any of us?
Do I have any questions for you?
You're the audience. Okay.
So, do you have a short-term plan for yourself? With where you want to be at
I
this
guess
point.
so.
Something to look forward to, or maybe some changes.
I'm trying. It's probably not as clear as what it needs to be, but
Maybe that's a thought to provoke there for you.
sort more shit out. Yeah. Thank you.
And in terms of your mediumship, you should not. You're holding yourself back. I'm going to say this to you. You say that you struggle or you need to improve. You do not need to. It is self-belief and trust.
Okay, I've just got to say what I see then.
Say what you see, say what you hear, say what you see, smell or
Yeah,
touch.
makes sense. Makes sense.
You are protected. There is a grandma with you. She is there for you. She will come and help with that side of your mediumship. Just need to trust. There are many others as well. You have had a shift as you know, in your guides
Yeah.
and your helpers.
Thank you.
And for Neil, what question shall we have for Neil?
This is my test.
Let's see. Well, there's so many. Everybody shouting. Who
Am
wants
I
to
that
be on A
bad?
Millionaire?
Call a friend. What friend's
Yeah.
gonna be?
I shouldn't have asked the audience. It's too big.
That's quite relevant to me, that.
I just said, what shall we ask Neil? A question. And it's hard to pick. Who do I go with?
Get your first thought.
My first one will be then, are you still enjoying your connection to us as much now as you did when you first started?
Even more so.
I knew that answer, but I wanted to hear it from you. There is a big uproar, a big cheer.
Good.
We can see.
It's very special to me. It's become very, very special.
I think now is the time to say good night to you all. I say all, to you both.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get some of our members back soon.
Thank you for joining us this evening. It's been
very
lovely.
enjoyable for me this evening. Thank you so very, very much.
Likewise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love and light. Thank you so much.
Well, that was interesting, isn't it?
That's good. Thank you for putting me on the spot, Ashley. Once
Anytime.
again. I know it can be counted on. Okay, no, it's all good stuff. Okay, on that note, then I think we'll end now. Then I think we've had a fair crack of the whip on tonight. Time for us now to finish today's question and answer session. We would like to thank Spirit for being here to guide us and working directly with us. That includes our personal guides for their ongoing support and the additional advisors that have joined us here today to give us the benefit of their wisdom. Thank you for your continued support, which we all fully appreciate and value. And we do look forward to linking up again with you all next time. Before we close the link, we hope you don't mind us spending a few minutes of our time exploring our personal direct links with Spirit. 2 minutes until I call you back into the room, everyone. Time now to refocus on your crown chakras, please. And as and when you have, close it down to break your link with Spirit. Move any residual energy you don't need down from your crown chakra to your brow chakra, onto your throat chakra. Take it down to your heart chakra and further down to your solar plexus chakra. Move it on to your sacral chakra and then to your root chakra. Allow this surplus energy to move down through your legs and body to your feet. And ground yourself on Mother Earth, please. When you are sufficiently grounded and in your own time, gently and slowly bring your attention back into the room.